What were psychological operations in the Vietnam War? Have you ever wondered how psychological tactics played a role in the Vietnam War? Psychological operations, often referred to as PSYOP, were key strategies used to influence the emotions and beliefs of both enemy forces and civilians. The goal was to achieve political and military objectives for the United States. These operations included a variety of methods such as propaganda, broadcasts, and leaflets. They aimed to weaken enemy morale and reduce support for the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese forces. One notable tactic was the Phoenix program, which combined intelligence and terror to target Viet Cong supporters. This program resulted in the deaths of over 19,000 individuals linked to the insurgency. Another fascinating tactic was Operation Wandering Soul. This operation took advantage of Vietnamese spiritual beliefs by playing eerie sounds at night. The intention was to convince enemy soldiers that the spirits of the dead were returning for revenge, creating fear and confusion among them. Radio broadcasts were also a significant part of PSYOP. These included messages delivered by Vietnamese women on stations run by the Central Intelligence Agency. The broadcasts aimed to connect with soldiers' homesickness and familial responsibilities. Helicopters equipped with loudspeakers played loud rock music or Vietnamese love songs to disorient enemy troops emotionally. Leaflets were another tool used to encourage defection. They promised medical aid to families of captured Viet Cong soldiers, aiming to persuade them to cooperate with U.S. forces. From a strategic viewpoint, psychological operations were integrated at all command levels. They supported conventional military operations and counterinsurgency efforts. The aim was to win the hearts and minds of the Vietnamese population, reducing civilian support for communist forces while bolstering the legitimacy of the South Vietnamese government and the U.S. mission. However, the effectiveness of these operations was mixed. Cultural misunderstandings often complicated their impact. U.S. commanders sometimes failed to grasp the cultural and psychological aspects of the conflict. Racial biases also influenced how they viewed the Vietnamese people. On the other side, the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong conducted their own psychological operations. Figures like Hanna broadcast propaganda aimed at U.S. troops, inducing fear and doubt about the war's purpose. In terms of technological impact, psychological operations in Vietnam marked a shift in warfare. Technology such as loudspeakers, radio broadcasts, and leaflet drops became essential tools for influencing human behavior. These methods showed how psychological strategies intertwined with military technology to shape the battlefield in non-combat ways. Overall, psychological operations in the Vietnam War represented a complex effort to influence the human dimension of the conflict. They utilized both traditional propaganda and innovative technology to affect the minds of enemies and civilians alike.